Shalom. I like to give all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ha-Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, taught me this truth. And salutations to the Akim and the Aqua for the hopeful elect. Lord willing, I be part of that number. Let's come in the spirit and theme of prophecy. And I was just talking. Want to talk about earthquakes in diverse places, man. There's been quite a few. I got a couple of videos and get some scripture, and this won't be a long lesson. Lord willing, you'll be edified.
One of the strongest earthquakes in Texas history was felt in parts of North Texas today. The magnitude 5.1 earthquake was centered in the town of Hermleigh, that's west of Abilene. Happened about 9:30 this morning. The earthquake was just the latest in a series over the last few days. Fox 4's Amelia Jones went to an expert to find out more on what we've all been experiencing. Amelia.
Hey, Heather, I spoke to a professor at SMU who studies earthquakes. He told me that magnitude 5 earthquakes happen every day across the country, but with these earthquakes in West Texas happening back to back, he believes they should be monitored. For the second day in a row, people from West Texas to Dallas felt the shake of an earthquake around 9:30 Friday morning. The U.S. Geological Survey measured it as a magnitude 5.1 earthquake. The epicenter was near Hermleigh, Texas, which is about 200 miles west of Fort Worth. This is the same area where a smaller magnitude 2.5 earthquake hit on Thursday and a magnitude 4.9 earthquake hit on Monday.
Well, there have been magnitude 5s in West Texas over the last several years.
Brian Stump is a professor at Southern Methodist University who studies earthquakes. He wasn't surprised that people in Dallas felt a rumble on Friday morning.
They're like when you drop a rock in a pond. You watch that wave, and it gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller the further it propagates away. That same thing is happening in the earth with the seismic waves. We just can't see them because the motion's so small, but we can feel them.
Most people we spoke to didn't feel anything Friday morning, but heard about the earthquake. One woman told us she felt a shake on Thursday from her Dallas residence.
I just felt vibration, and at first I thought I was the one shaking, actually.
Abby Pager grew up in California. She says earthquakes out west are more of a rolling sensation.
It's definitely a lot slower as opposed to a bit more of a shakiness that I felt yesterday.
A Scurry County judge made a disaster declaration after Friday's earthquake caused damage across the area. The Fox 4 weather team reported that the earthquakes on Monday and Friday were some of the strongest in Texas history. Stump doesn't know what exactly is causing the quakes, but says the area should be studied to determine whether man-made activities like fracking might have played a role.
In 2016, the state of Texas has been pretty proactive, and so there's now a very robust set of seismic stations around the state of Texas. And those are designed to be able to study these kinds of events. And if indeed this happens to be an induced event, then maybe mitigate the additional events by changing activities in the area.
Over the past week, the U.S. Geological Survey recorded 86 earthquakes in the West Texas counties of Scurry and Fisher. Right now, the Texas Department of Emergency Management is out there monitoring the damage. Heather, back to you.
All right, Amelia Jones, thank you.
Yeah, so as you can see, there's earthquakes in Texas. Look at this. Magnitude 3.6 earthquake, 30 miles from Midland, Texas, August 10th. 2.5 from Oklahoma, August 12th. 3.1 from Snyder, Texas. 2.6 from Kermit. 2.7 from Kermit. 3.2 from Blanchard, Oklahoma. 2.8 from Pecos, Texas. And let's not forget about
Today, a 4.4 magnitude earthquake shook Southern California, rattling residents across the region.
And the threat may not be over just yet. ABC's Zorin Shah has the story.
Tonight, Southern California is bracing for aftershocks after a major earthquake jolted the region.
As we have a bit of an earthquake here in Los Angeles.
Just after noon local time, a 4.4 quake shook the Highland Park neighborhood, just a few miles north of downtown Los Angeles.
It was a jolt, and then the building just started to shake violently. It wasn't those nice rolly ones we get that I had to hold on to the door jamb, and I could feel someone else holding on to me.
Emergency officials, including the LA Fire Department, activating earthquake mode. Officials inspecting neighborhoods throughout the city for damage. ESPN hosts were broadcasting when they realized an earthquake was hitting them.
That's an earthquake. That's an earthquake.
Oh, wow, that is a real earthquake.
Whoa, that is a real one, guys. All right.
Whoa. That is real.
And watch as these dogs appear startled by the earthquake in Monterey Park.
When you have a lot of earthquakes, you tend to have a lot of earthquakes.
U.S. Geological Survey scientists seen taking cover too while on lunch break on the 8th floor of their downtown LA office.
It's a pretty good jolt. Nothing was knocked over, but I think almost everybody felt it.
The top of Pasadena City Hall, gushing water after the quake hit a pipe. Officials evacuating these middle school students on the first day of school for many.
Our crews discovered that a sprinkler head at the very top of the rotunda, actually the piping broke, causing a water flow.
There have been smaller quakes recently, but Caltech officials say today's was not related. Zorin Shah, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Yeah, so there you have it. We got earthquakes in Texas, earthquakes in Oklahoma, or earthquakes in California. 4.4. Alhambra. Got a 2.9 in Hawthorne, Nevada. 3.0 in Bakersfield. 3.7 in Ridgecrest. 3.2 in Bakersfield. Matter of fact, let me get a quick scripture. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? Yeah, so the disciples later turned apostles. They wanted to know when the coming of the Lord was going to be. And they wanted to know some signs. Like what shall we look for to know that you're coming? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Yeah. The wars and the rumors of wars. Like the war, just like the war that's going on now with Israel and Iran. And Russia and Ukraine. That's a war and a rumor of a war. You know? But like I said, the end is not yet. You still got a few more prophecies to take place before the end has come. You know, like Jacob's trouble and the implementation of that MOTB, the mark of the beast. Verse 7, For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Just like all these are the beginning of sorrows. Just like how I showed you the earthquakes in Texas and California. Nevada and Oklahoma. Not to mention, there's more. I typed in, I did a quick Google search. What are the 10 most recent earthquakes? And this is what came up. 6.8 in Barcelona, in Philippines. 6.2 in Guatemala. A 7.4 in Chile. 7.1 in Japan. A 4.5 in Utah. 4.9 in Texas. And a 6.3 in the Philippines again. And that's not even to mention the 2 points, the 2 point whatevers, and the 3 point whatevers. You know, the smaller earthquakes that are taking place. You know, this is a beautiful time to be alive. We're witnessing and living in prophecy. You know. Let me get another precept. Yeah, this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9. And starting from the top. He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Yeah. And as you can see, these are some of the times, these are some of the signs that are passing. So now you know what time it is. Verse 3, here's the point. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, yeah, you see the earthquakes that's been taking place, the uproars of the people, like the riots in the UK, like the protesting in Bangladesh. They turning up in Bangladesh, and in Venezuela, and in Nigeria. You just pick a spot on the globe and you'll see uproars of the people. And let's not forget about the farmers in Europe. You know, like in Germany, and Finland, and Sweden. You know, this is all out pandemonium and chaos. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Yeah, and that word manifest means evidently clear, just crystal clear. It's crystal clear that we're at the end. The end of what? The end of Esau ruling. And when I say Esau, I'm talking about the so-called white man. You know? Like it says in 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So these are beautiful times. You know, Lord willing, you was edified. And until next time, I'm going to say Shalom.